Shots fired by Renee Stubbs once again. Big Bad Ego wild on tour, facing controversy once again. This video is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use to Fair Dealing and the Digital Millennium Act. The serve is the question right now, or should I say the criticism. Renee Stubbs, former world's number one in doubles, of course, Serena Williams' former coach. Look, I don't think she's a huge fan of Iga Swiatek, but listen, it's her right, it's her prerogative, and she has criticism, along with Caitlin Thompson, ladies and gentlemen, two ladies who I just don't think like Iga Swiatek's game that much. Now, Renee would state, unbelievable, I don't know where to begin. She would state that Iga's serve, it's so discombobulated and predictable. Whoa! Shots fired, ladies and gentlemen. Now, listen, I'm on record. Listen, last season, the 24th season, the first stretch of the tour, the Australian leg, where Iga changed her serve literally in 3 days. I was all over it. I played the video. I showed you why it wasn't a good decision because it immediately had her on the back foot. One of the best defenders on tour, I get it, but she's also one of the best offensive threats on tour. For her to be on the back foot after her first serve was just horrible to me. I just felt that long windup, that long delay, overextending, just gave her, the opponents, the opportunity to tee off. She would make the adjustments pretty darn quickly, but Renee Stubbs still doesn't like it. As we throw back to a flashback, Danielle, Australian Open, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this was the 22 season before Iga got hot. And I'm talking about red hot, ladies and gentlemen. But don't forget the previous year in the 2020 season, Simona Halep, who also had shots for Iga Swiatek recently before retiring, would take Iga Swiatek out. But yes, guys, if we go back to the Australian Open, the semifinal matchup, Iga made it here after taking out Harriet Dot, the Brit. Rebecca Peterson, has anyone seen her? The Swedish threat. I don't know where she's at. Dasha, she took out in straight sets. Sorana Cirstea. Yeah, no bagels. Kai Kanepi. Guys, Estonia in the building before Danielle would take her out in straight sets, 6-4, 6-1. Yeah, remember the time, ladies and gentlemen? Now, Iga would lose to Big Mama Asta in Dubai, and then she'd get red hot. Should I go down the hit list? Victoria Golubic, Dasha, Sabalenka, the Greek goddess, Annette, hard-hitting Kontaveit, and Helena, Clara Towson, Kerber, Maddie Patty. She'd get revenge over Halep, the Greek goddess, in the Indian Wells final, 6-4, 6-1, and she would storm her way into the sunshine double, making that look like a routine day at the beach, taking out Victoria Golubic again. Madison Bringle, where is she at? It's very hilarious. I love talking to her. Great personality. Coco in the round of 16. Petra Kvitova. Congratulations on the baby. She's back. Big game Jessie P in Osaka in the final, where she would then start that run of 3 bagels in Miami, and Osaka would get that. What about a throwback to the French Open? Big game Sofia Kenin, guys. The short season, the COVID lockout, ladies and gentlemen. And we play the French Open in October. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, where the unseeded Iga would come through, taking out Marketa, Junior Slam champion, right? She's great on clay. Sue Heish, she'd take out Jeannie Bouchard, who's like a pickleball star now. Simone Halep again. Martina Trevisan, Ciao Bela, Podoroska, and big game Sofia Kenin. I don't care if you call her Sonia or Sophia. Just don't leave out the big game. She'd take her out 6-4, 6-1 here at the French Open. Look, a young, very fit Sofia Kenin, mentally tough. Dad was there with the mask on, but Sofia would lose this match. Now, back to the drama and the controversy. Now, we all know Caitlin Thompson, the owner of Racket Magazine. She's straightforward. She says, look, she's chocolate. I'm vanilla. We're just different. And she said, look, I don't like watching Iga Swiatek's matches. You can't make me like her style of play. Unreal, ladies and gentlemen. She said she doesn't find Iga's matches interesting. And look, this was a very thin Iga Swiatek. Remember that? She's pretty jacked now. She's pretty diesel, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, between Caitlin Thompson and Renee Stubbs, I don't know who's, should I say, the bigger hater? What do you guys think, Polish fans? But listen, I think Renee Stubbs is great for the sport. She was a great player, but we need more of these professionals to be more outspoken and give their true opinion, right? Because not everyone feels the same. Now, I'm going to give you my opinion. This is the part where I give my fair criticism. I'm concerned. I'm really concerned because Iga's, look, after that amazing run over 120 weeks at number one, 125, something like that, I don't know, so many to count. She's that good. She's now down to number two. But listen, she's 21-6 on the year, guys. Last year, she finished 66-9. The 24 season, the 23 season, 69-12. The 22 season, 70-10. But she's got 3 clay championships she needs to defend, right? As we throw back here to the French Open. But listen, guys, she's got to defend Madrid, Rome, and the French Open. Now, Madrid last year, she took out Arina Sabalenka, hits hard in 3. She beat Arina Sabalenka and Rome in straight sets. And listen, as we're talking about the serve, to pivot back to Renee Stubbs, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to Guadalajara, Mexico. That's right, guys. That 21 season where the Greek goddess took out Swiatek. And we all thought that Iga's serve was weak then. But she's improved. She came back that 22 season, 70-10. She'd win the French Open. She's won the French Open 3 straight times, taking out, if we go back, Coco in the 22 season. And don't forget, Coco's really good on clay. She's a junior French Open champion. She's made it to the final, the semifinal, the quarterfinals at the French Open. Her favorite tournament to play, according to her. She loves Paris, her favorite city to visit. And then she'd come back the following year, take out Muhova. And then Jasmine last year. So she's worked on the serve. And remember Sabalenka? The funny face. Unbelievable. But yeah, she's got 3 titles to defend. Madrid and Rome, where she also beat Sabalenka. And by the way, you want to throw back to Ashley Barty when she used to own Arina Sabalenka, ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of people don't remember, but Barty, very short, one of the better servers you've seen, especially in the modern game, for her size. Say that fast 3 times. For her size, an amazing server, great reach. She'd get the ball over the net. Very few double faults. Very fast. A lot of power. Good with the drop shot, slices, redirecting. Good top spin. Very good intuition. Good court vision. And I was very sad when she left. But I tell you one thing. Actually, I'm not going to say that about Ashley Barty. She's retired, one of my favorite players. And Iga Swiatek felt that Barty pushed her to be a better player because she felt she was that one player she just couldn't get over the hump. And look, Barty's not coming back. I was kind of hoping it would be like a Danny Mel situation where Barty would come back the following year, maybe even now, but no, it's not going to happen. But listen, guys, in terms of Iga Swiatek, I am concerned because she's 21-6. She's not going to win 60 matches this year. It's going to be the first time in 3 straight years where she doesn't get to 60 unless something drastically happens, ladies and gentlemen. But she's got 6 losses already. Last year, she finished the year with 9. She's going to have more than 9 this year. That's a fact. The 23 season, she finished with 12 losses. She's going to have more than 12 this year. So I am a bit concerned because I don't think she's going to defend all 3 of these titles. And then that brings up the question, is she going to slide in the rankings? Right now, she's about 3,100 points off of the number 1 spot. She's 3,100 points off of the number 1 spot behind Arina Sabalenka, hits hard. But she's got a lot of points to defend. Madrid and Rome, those are Master 1000 events. She doesn't win those titles. She's going to drop. Pegula could possibly be number 2 in the world. If Coco wins one of these tournaments, I think Coco will bump into the number 2 spot. Remember last year when things got really interesting where Coco and Sabalenka were kind of in that 3-2 race, shuffling musical chairs, and Coco got it by default when Sabalenka did not go deep at the French Open. And going into the grass season, Coco was number 2 for that brief period. I think we're going to see a similar situation here where Coco Pegula kind of shuffle 4-3 and Iga shuffles possibly 3-4. I think Iga Swiatek is not going to defend in Rome. Rome has given her issues in the past. I could see her possibly defending Madrid, but I don't think Iga's going to defend the French Open this year. You got too many younger players like Mara that's coming up playing solid tennis, where I think Mara is probably going to be matched up in Iga's bracket this year. And I think Iga's going to be in trouble. Remember, Coco's now number 4. Unless she can bump up quickly back to 3, she's also going to be in Iga's draw at the French Open. I think Iga's going to have the toughest draw she's ever had at the French Open. And I don't see Iga defending this year, guys. And I think that's going to have a huge mental blow. And who knows, Caitlin Thompson, Renee Stubbs, all that stuff they say about Iga, they may have a lot more to say after this year's French Open. But right now, Iga's the favorite to win it, guys. What do you think? Are you concerned with Coco? You concerned with Iga? I want your thoughts below. Do you think Iga's serve, is there an issue there? My personal opinion, I don't think there's an issue there, to be honest with you. I think Wim is doing what he needs to do. He's working on getting Iga to play longer rallies. And I think that's really the only thing missing in her game. I mean, that short, fast burst of speed, that explosive down the line, backhands, cross court. I think she's got to work on her two-way play a little bit. She's got to work on that. But again, as she's getting older, now is definitely the time to do it. But again, if you don't come on tour with that type of style, it's very tough to develop. I mean, we see players like Elena Rybakina, who if the WTA final started today would not be there. Like she's like 10th or 11th. And then you have players like Donna Vekic, who's working with Pam, who's, by the way, Elena Rybakina, Pam Sugar. I had to, guys. Donna Vekic, who, look, you can't really develop that short game if you don't really come on tour with it. You can improve and in certain situations minimize the damage, but if it's not there, it's not there. And I think Wim is doing a great job of just extending the longer rallies in the baseline, behind the baseline, working on her deep ball, improving her power. But overall, just seeing players like Mara dominate Iga the last couple times out, it is a bit concerning. And this is what I've said about Iga for a long time, that as she starts to slow down, because again, you know, with that foot injury in juniors, she's worked hard to get that speed and that footwork. Even though she comes from a great athletic family, her dad was an amazing athlete, I felt she worked on her footwork and her speed and her kind of her athletic attributes. And as you get older, look, you have to work harder and work harder. And as the tour catches up with you, which is exactly what I think the real issue is. Iga in that 22 season was just ahead of everyone. The tour got caught by surprise. And right now we're seeing those players, the Jessica Pegulas of the world, just the Miras of the world, come up in the rankings. They're putting in that work. The Jasmine Paulinis, Arena, all these ladies have just worked hard. And it's at a point where Iga's got to work now twice as hard because they're catching up to her. And I just feel the tour is catching up to Iga. There's not a knock at Iga's game. I mean, still 21-6. But yeah, she hasn't won a title in the last 12 tour events, and that includes the United Cup. And it is concerning, but I talked about this for the last couple of years. She will eventually slow down. I think we're seeing that. And I think the key, though, is she's going to have to win this French Open to really, really stay relevant, or else she's going to take a dip in the rankings. And from there, who knows what can happen. Comment below. What are your thoughts? Tennis in a Minute. Is Renee Stubbs right? Is Iga Swiatek serve discombobulated? Is she trying to do something that takes away her natural attributes by just playing a service game that doesn't suit her style? I don't know if I agree with Renee. What do you think? Tennis in a minute. We'll be back.